Hello and welcome to All Things Man United. My name is Liam. Today we'll be talking about transfers, ins and also outs. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to introduce you to our lovely panellists. Sati, how you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad yourself.
Not too bad. And the guy who owns the channel is Daniel. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not too bad. So we're going to kick off with a source that leaked everywhere on social media about Gundogan, Borussia Dortmund centre mid player. Around 25 million euros is the rumoured amount. So we're just going to get a bit more information about him. So we start with you, Sati. What can you tell us about Gundogan and what can he bring to Manchester United? Because obviously Carrick, he's getting on a bit now and be a perfect replacement because, I mean, Carrick next season, the guy's getting really old now. He can't really be playing every single game, can he? So another player like Gundogan, still fairly young, would be excellent for United. What do you think he could bring to the squad?
Well, I'm just looking at Gundogan's stats and everything, and he's 24. He's a central midfielder, which is great. That's someone that we're lacking at the moment, to be fair, because someone when Carrick is when he's injured, we've got Dave in, but today he looked ragged in. Against people like James McCarthy and Gareth Barry, if you're getting outplayed against them and the training to do in midweek. He's also got 9 caps for Germany with 1 goal. He's a decent player, and he missed out with the World Cup just because he had an injury, a back injury, which kept him out for most of the last season. And people have been, he's come back and he looked a bit chubby and everything, and people have been complaining and saying, "Oh, why are we signing a player that's unfit? He won't be able to do well in the Premier League." But for me, I think I wanted him last season when Moyes was in charge because he was a perfect replacement for Carrick, because Carrick wasn't getting much game time then. We had I think it was Kagawa, Mata. We didn't really have a solid midfield, and we had Flame, which didn't really work then. But I think Gundogan is a like-for-like replacement with Carrick because he can do the job in central defensive midfield and central attacking midfield, and I think he's just quality. Generally, whatever he does on the pitch, he's just amazing. I've seen him before before he picked up that injury to keep him off for the whole season. He was looking good for Dortmund, and when Klopp, he had Kagawa, Royce, all of them were playing absolutely amazing, and that's when Dortmund started to click, and that's when they got to the Champions League final that season. They didn't have Kagawa then, but obviously they actually played like a team. Gundogan was a key of that, and I think he dictated. I think he got the most pass accuracy in the whole of the Bundesliga, the likes of Bayern Munich with all their players in there. More than Philipp Lahm. That's saying something. He's just genuinely a good player. I just hope he doesn't. His injury doesn't keep him out like it's done to Falcao.
Yeah, no, some great points there, Sati. Dan, we'll come over to you. I mean, I've heard a lot of rumours, not just Gundogan, but Hummels as well, another United player linked with the club. We'll get onto him a bit later. But, Gundogan is, like Sati said, he'd be a great replacement kind of for Carrick. Like, he's getting on a bit now. I guess, could you say that Gundogan, also another reason he kind of wants to leave, and so many players actually want to leave Dortmund, is because of Klopp leaving? Do you think there's been a bit of a, say, morale's gone down at Dortmund, considering where they are in the league? They were Champions League finalists only a few years back, and now they're near the relegation, whatnot. So, do you think that most of the players at Dortmund want to just move on, try different things, and we can suit the style of play and the Van Gaal philosophy?
Yeah, well, with Dortmund, they've over the last few years they have been a bit of a selling club, haven't they? They've sold quite a few of their better players to rivals, and unfortunately they're not doing too well this season. They're not going to now qualify for the Champions League. So, and for most players, they want to be playing in the Champions League, and so many players now want to play in the Premier League. And with the fact that we can now offering Champions League football, I think it would be a decent signing. With as you said, with Carrick in getting into his, I think he's about 33, 34 now. So, and he's had a lot of injury problems this season, which has been a worry for him. So I think he would be a decent replacement for Carrick. Whether he plays every game next season, I don't know. But Daley Blind can occupy that role as well. But Manchester United really do miss Carrick when he's not in there. Maybe he can step up if we do sign him and be a decent player, but I'm not sure if we can replace Carrick. It'd be a job to replace him, a man like that who's been brilliant for the last few seasons.
No, 100%. Carrick, I think he's never been that kind of like Scholes kind of player that everybody knows and everyone knows what a talent Scholes was. I think Carrick's very kind of like hidden. He's kind of like a hidden talent. I think it's a good way to put it. United fans, I think just all around the world, they don't see Carrick as that shining player, but he does do a lot for the centre mid role, and he does a lot for United because he lets them play well. And I mean, obviously this wasn't too good today, the result, but I think definitely boots the field will be very hard, I think, for Carrick. Go to you, Sati. So Depay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about the bloke still. I'll probably know a bit more about him if the transfer rumours actually seem legit. What can you tell us on Depay? I mean, is he a player that can have an effect on United? I mean, tell us a bit about where he plays. Obviously he's Dutch, so he's obviously got a bit of experience with Van Gaal. Just tell us a bit about him.
But Depay, I'll talk about his stats in a minute, but just his general play, he's one of them players that we've been lacking for the last couple of years. One of them players that will literally get out of the defence. And we bought Di Maria, thought he could be one of them players that would just run. And Di Maria for me just hasn't done it. And I think Depay can really, urge other players on. Even when he's running at them, he'll create space for the likes of, if Mata, Herrera, they can get onto the edge of the box, get into the box. And when he's running down the wing, he can cross it in. If there's Wayne Rooney there, he's always going to get his head onto it. So I think that's a sense where you can imagine him playing on the left-hand side, Di Maria on the right-hand side. It would just work as a treat. Most of his positions this season, he's played 34 appearances in the left position, 24 goals and 4 assists, and an average rating of 7.81, which for me, I think is a very good stat ratio, goals to ratio. I think that's very good. It is a Dutch league, and people have been saying, it doesn't matter and everything. But for me, I'd rather have a quality player that does genuinely play, with his heart and soul each game. And just looking at some of his, he's played 34 games, which is a lot for the Dutch league. But even when he's not playing, he's always tweeting stuff. He's always that player that you go to in the dressing room. Players will go to him. He's won stuff in the Dutch league, but I think he's ready for the step up. And I just can't wait to see him at United, because if he does play there with the likes of Rooney up top, Di Maria, Herrera, Mata, Gundogan, if he does come, it's going to be a quality United team, and I just imagine him on the left-hand side, and it'll just be amazing to watch next season.
Yeah, no, some great points about Depay, and I think he'd be a great impact player. Also for United, it's kind of I don't know, I would say it's a role that needs to be filled. I think it's just a role that can be strengthened. I think that Van Gaal knows even the recent form for United has been class. They're still slipping up at places like Goodison Park. That can't happen if you want to start challenging properly in the Champions League and also for the league. So, I think Van Gaal is going to sit down this summer, and I think he's definitely got his targets. I think it's just all just about. I think it's strengthening every position. If I'm honest, I don't think there's a position that you could say the striker force is better than the defence, of course, but I think every role kind of except from keeper maybe. That's where they all need to be. I think every role needs to be looked at. We'll go on to Hummels now. Enough, like I said at the start of the show, very 50-50 on this. I mean, there's not many sources saying that could happen, but it's kind of another one that could move. But how many do Dortmund really want to let go? I mean, Goetze, Lewandowski, Hummels. It looks like Royce might be the only half-decent player at Dortmund by the end of the window. So let's go to you, Dan. What can you tell us a bit about Hummels? Won the World Cup, so it goes to prove that he's one of the best centre-backs in the world. But, is he, next to Smalling, would that be a good partnership? Or would you say Rojo or even another centre-back, 2 new centre-backs?
Yeah, I think probably 2 new centre-backs are probably needed. I mean, Smalling's been really, really good lately, putting some decent performances, but I don't know, if you want to really challenge for that Champions League and Premier League, I think you've got to have the best players in the world in most positions, and I think two new centre backs would. I mean, I don't think the defence has been good at all this season, and I mean, Marcus Rojo could turn into a really great player. At the moment, he's injured, and Smalling could continue to improve, so they could be first choice regulars next season. But I still think that if they could get rid of a couple of them, for me, Johnny Evans and Phil Jones should really be on their way now. I think they've had enough chances and haven't performed well enough. And Jones is always injured, so I think that them two have really should be shipped out. And I think 2 new centre backs should be in. I think Hummels would bring a lot of experience. I mean, he's played in some of the biggest games in the world, won the World Cup, got to the Champions League final, played in some of the biggest games in the Bundesliga as well. So he's got a lot of experience. I think he's only 25 or 26. So he'd definitely be one of the first names to buy for a centre back. And I think we should buy one more as well. Although it's not easy getting 2 quality centre backs. But I think if Manchester United want to be winning the league and the Champions League in the next few years, they're going to have to really stop conceding so many goals, because David De Gea has been the mainstay at the back. And if it wasn't for him, they would have conceded so many goals this year and would nowhere have made the top 4.
Just unmute that there. No, yeah, great point, Skin. And, Sassy, I mean, pretty much what same Dan said. He's everything I think that United need. He's a strong centre-back, he's a leader. He probably doesn't really feel like that's happening as much at Dortmund, but, I mean, I can't really put a word on it why Dortmund's season has been so poor. Because they still, they've got Aubameyang, Gundogan, Hummels, Weidenfeller, Piszczek, little players like that, Ramos, Immobile. It's still quite a very strong team. But yeah, there's just something not clicking in the team at the moment. And, Hummels has been at Dortmund for a very long time now. So a new start in the Premier League, a new challenge for him. Would it suit United?
Yeah, Hummels, he's 26, which is hitting the prime of his career. And when you've been playing at Dortmund for so long, I think anyone will want to continue that career. But I think he's not winning trophies. He's winning Bundesligas occasionally. I think he's won 2 Bundesligas at his time at Dortmund. But I think he needs to start winning a Champions League, a Premiership, something like that, which will really, say to the rest of the centre backs in the world that I'm the best there is, and no one better than me. And if we didn't get Hummels, there's probably someone else we were looking at in Dortmund, which is Matthias Ginter. The guy he's very young. He can play in numerous positions. I think he's 21 years of age. He's young. He's quick. He plays centre defensive midfield. He's played this season. He's played 19 appearances. Including all the competitions. That isn't really a lot for a centre back that wants to be, at the top of his game, playing for the best club in the world. Which he wants to be playing at the best. But I just think we could lure him away because he isn't playing. He isn't getting that much minutes under his belt. He's a good player whenever he is. His stats are always improving, but I just think maybe he could be someone that we're looking at. But Hummels is a difficult one with him because he could either turn up at United and be excellent and be one of the world's best centre backs, as I've just said. But there's always that concern with me because I think Hummels, I don't know if he'll be able to handle it in the Premier League. That's not me saying that he isn't good enough. I've got a few concerns because a player of that calibre and a player of that quality is a bit of a concern when the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona and that aren't in for him. And it's like some Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea, which is saying something for me. I just rather see, like David De Gea's got all the best clubs interested in him. And, it's a bit of a concern. But, that could prove to cost Real Madrid and Barcelona in the future. But I just think there are some concerns with Hummels. And everyone's saying he'd be the world's best centre-back to be perfect for them. But I just don't think Louis van Gaal sees it that way. And there are some valid reasons for that. But at the end of the day, if Hummels does come, I'll back him 100%. But everyone's jumping at the gun and saying he'll be quality. That's not to say there might be a few flaws in his play, but everyone needs to just calm back and see what Louis van Gaal does, because he may not even need a centre back. He may just want to try and strengthen other positions, which would be crazy. But Louis van Gaal just wants to start building a team, and I think Hummels may not fit into that. I just don't know. I want him to come, but I don't think Louis van Gaal will buy him.
No. That's fair enough, and also a good point. Many clubs, like English clubs, can get linked with these big names, but then it only takes Madrid or Barcelona to come in with a little bid, and then that seems to kind of do it for the English clubs. I still think we're second best in that way, just because they are the 2 best teams in the world. Probably not. I don't think that, I think the Premier League, of course, is the best league in the world, but everybody wants to play for Real Madrid and Barcelona at the end of the day, and I think they still override United and Chelsea and Arsenal and Liverpool and all teams like that. So that's it, I think. I don't think there's really any other big names that are linked. Have you guys got any other names, or is that pretty much everything?
Oh, one second.
I mean,
Well, well, I don't know. There are probably not many more big names in the terms of defenders, apart from maybe Nathaniel Klein could come in, a right back, because I think they really need a decent right back. I think that Valencia's just not at the highest quality to play that position. I mean, he's a winger really, and Raphael has just got to go. I mean, his injury record is just absolutely awful, and he breaks a bone every time he seems to go on the pitch. So, but he's one area that I think definitely does need to be improved. But they're going to have to get a top class goalkeeper in if David De Gea leaves, because he's kept Manchester United definitely in the race for fourth place this season. And I don't know, maybe another great striker if Falcao and Robin van Persie don't stay there in the summer. But that one's who they get in is going to be a debate, because it's hard to get a world class striker in now. I mean, you've got to spend 50 or 60 million on a world class striker, and there's not too many great strikers out there that are available that Manchester United could get, that, as you said, would probably end up going to Real Madrid and Barcelona if they're of the highest European quality.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's also another shout, about De Gea. It's hard to say if he will stay. Is he really that loyal? But if money's doubled and elsewhere, I don't know how loyal we can get as footballers. I don't think there really is many loyal footballers anymore. We can all show it. There's probably the odd one or two, but like Gerrard, for instance, I guess you can't really knock him for how long he serviced at Liverpool. He does seem a genuine passion at Anfield. So yeah, we'll just wrap it up now. Probably be doing these kind of weekly. We'll probably be doing them more and more. Obviously, more rooms will be coming in as well. So yeah, we'll go to you, Sati. Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter, the UnitedMan_MU. Sorry about that silence. I was trying to unmute myself, but the button wasn't working. So yeah, it's one of them ones. And also got my own YouTube channel, the United Man. So make sure you subscribe to that. And cheers for having me on.
No worries. And the guy who owns the channel, Daniel, where can people find you?
Yeah, tweet me at DanielH1558.
And you can find me also at Liam P.O. Edwards. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.